So this is my big old HD Sony Vega 30HS420. A lot of y'all have looked at the video on it, but it has now finally developed a problem. I don't really know if it's in the vertical or the horizontal drive, or if it's even in that at all, considering how much more complicated this set is than a regular, just standard set. But as you can see these curvy lines in the picture, and the picture is real jittery. And let me show you what it really does. Here's the back, by the way, for anybody who wants to see how big the CRT and all that is. It's a monster. But at least it was made in America. The CRT was. Speakers made in China. Boards were made in Japan. So, who knows. But it was assembled in Mexico. So here's what's happening. Started this about a month ago, and it's gotten progressively worse and worse and worse. If there's a lot of black on the screen, it does that. And then when you get a full raster image, it'll do freaky shit, like up here at the top, it'll curve and it jitters real bad. Now if you go through component or HDMI and you drive 720p or 1080i into it, it doesn't exhibit this problem. It only seems to have this problem if you run 480i. And I don't even think it did it on 480p, but I know 480i and down it has this problem. It's not as bad with this game because it generates a full raster. But you can really, I don't know if it come out in the camera, but it's jiggling bad. It's a damn shame because it is such a nice set. However, I did notice back on the main board that a lot of the connectors and the legs on the resistors and capacitors and such are starting to get corroded, starting to turn green. That happens down here on the coast. So this set might not be long for the world. I'm damn sure going to have to recycle it because it weighs so freaking much. This is a 200-pound television. I don't see any obvious capacitors bulged or leaked anywhere. It's all Rubicons in the set. All the boards have Rubicons. I'm sure that it is a bad one somewhere. It's probably drying out or whatever from old age. Even though this set was made in 05, so that's what, 11 years old. Just don't build them like they used to. I seen another video on YouTube of a guy who had the same problem with the 4x3 version of this TV. And nobody ever replied back to him, and I can't find, there's tons of information about the set on the ABS forum, service menus and blah 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 blah, but there's no information on repairing the boards, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be a D board repair, which is the power supply board. I know that there's a set of chips or ICs back there that can go bad, and they may be failing, I don't know, but it never gives me the 6 or 7 blink lights of death. It always turns on, and if you put a full raster on it, it looks good. But as soon as you put anything with black on it, it'll start bouncing around and doing crazy shit. So if anybody knows, hit me up on the comments. I would really like to save this set from the landfill, but like I say, compared to a regular CRT, your old standard goodness, this is your D board with your flyback. Should have the horizontal and vertical drive on there somewhere. Should be around one of the big transistors. And then you have that board back there, which controls, I believe the HDMI comes into that board. And then behind that board, you have two neck boards on the CRT. You have the WI board, you have the CH board, Back behind here is a whole another board. You have another board back here for your inputs, which you can't see in the dark, but it's back there. And then right there is another board that takes the inputs, and I guess the comb filter and all that's on that board. And that board could be the problem. It could be a comb filter failure, since it only seems to do it mostly on the analog. It will do it on the HDMI if you drive a 480i signal into the HDMI port. It'll also do the bouncy crap. So that's what makes me believe it's probably in the horizontal or vertical drive. But yet, if you bring the on-screen menus up, it doesn't. The on-screen menus are fine. It's only whatever's being played into it that has the problem. So, being more complicated than regular CRT, I'm kind of at a loss. Any of you Trinitron guys out there, if you know what to look for, hit me up. All those connections down there, you can see where the D boards connect to the other board. Those are all starting to turn green from corrosion. I mean, it's getting pretty brutal in here. Anyways, laters.